Hi, traders, and welcome to the weekly commodity report. I'm your host, Paul. We'll look at the usual natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's start. And we're going to start with natural gas as the futures contract. And last week I was wondering if they were going to make a running flat over here. I wanted them to come up here more. But they didn't do that, so they just gave us an ABC. I was hoping that this was 1, 2, and they were going to come up for a 3, 4, 5. I still think there's a running flat in play here because this is all just very corrective. What I see is an ABC. I think that's A. And we had an ABC, and then we had straight down. So I think this is A, this is B, and this was C for the B wave. So I think that's A, this is B, and now they should be coming up into this region, which I got marked at like 1958 to about 1985, somewhere up in here. And it should be pretty impulsive. And it was looking really good yesterday. They had that sudden blast off, but they created a really, really deep correction here. And that's kind of not what I was expecting. So this 1649 really has to hold here for what I think is going to be happening. So this could just be one. They had a deep correction for 2. Go up for 3, 4, and 5 into there, and then give us this look. And this will just be a running flat. This is the only pattern that really makes any sense to me of what they're doing here. Because this, like I said before, this over here, that was not the end of 3. So I think this must be 3. This is all 4 on this chart. And then they'll come down and break this 1649 low. Now, this contract's about to expire, so these numbers are going to change in the next video that I do. But for right now, it should be going up. If it breaks this low again, going to have to really look at this. Yeah, unless they're going to, this is all still the B wave. It's instead of ABC. Like this is, I think this is ABC. I guess it could be like if they break the low, that would be WX, and this will be just a quick 1, 2, 3. That'll be the Y wave. But I still think they're going to have a sharp move up, lure people in, and then send it back down. So that is what I am looking at. And then when we drill in, it looks like there could be a diagonal starting here. So I see this as just a 3-wave up move and then a 3-wave down. Then they had this impulse here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it corrected, and then they broke it again. So it definitely looks like that could be 1. This could be 2, this could be 3, and then they should be making a 4 and then go up for a 5. So if that plays out, then it's looking good. Like they're going to be going up. Like this all be 1. This will correct, and then it'll start to take off. If, however, they break that low, then they're going to take out the 1649 low too. So have to watch the reaction here, because so far we just have 3 waves, so it could be just a WXY type of correction, and they're going to reverse it and take out both of these lows. So let's see what happens. We'll find out tomorrow. If they're going to go up, it should be just a little correction from where they are right now, and then go back up and break that high again. But it should get up into the mid 1.7s if they're going to do that. And then when we look at the cash market, this is why I still prefer natural gas has one more wave up, because on the cash market, you can just see, this is on the 4-hour chart, that they're just staying inside of this range here, in this range. So they haven't broken the March 12th low, and obviously then they haven't broken this February 19th low. And when I go back to futures, you can see, we made a new low March 28th, and then they made a new low on Tuesday. So futures has a downward movement to it, where on the cash market, it still would make the most sense for me, because then this would be A, this would be B, and then I think this ABC was, come on, 1, that was 2, that was 3, this was 4, and then just like on the futures, that big explosion up yesterday was the start of the 5. So this would be like the A wave, deep correction for B, and then let's go break that high. Actually, they don't even need to break 2056 on this chart. They just need to break the 3. So they actually only need to break 2039. But anyway, it'd be a 5-wave move. If they're going to come up here, I'm sure they're going to break both of these, grab some stop losses and whatever. And then that would be the 4, and then they'll come down for that 5th and final wave. So this still looks to me like a diagonal to complete the 4th wave. And so obviously if the cash market's going up, then futures should be having one more push up before it reverses down. All right, so that's natural gas. Let's move on to oil. All right, so oil finally giving indication that the correction is underway, and that this 5-wave, what I think is a leading diagonal. Now, it could always be a WXYXZ, just a very strong correction, but I think this is a diagonal. And so now we should be getting a correction, and so far we do already have 3 waves, and it's right into this perfect zone. So it could start going all the way up from right here. Now this sell-off today was very strong. So what I would expect is this is just A, B, C for the A wave, get some kind of a B wave, and then still one more down for the C wave, and then oil can start to go up. So I would expect there's going to be some type of correction up for oil, but still one more down. But it doesn't have to. I mean, there are 3 waves. You just don't have any divergence, and this was really strong selling. So I'd expect some type of correction. It could be a real shallow correction, but something just to correct up and then break this 81.90. And I don't even know if the 81.97 is going to be the low of this this first wave. They're just kind of consolidating here, so that it might actually go down a little bit more, but there should be at least a little bit of a bounce up before they roll over. All right, let's move on to the metals. We'll start with copper. This is the futures chart. And I'm going to go out to the daily. All right, so we finally broke that January of 23 high just by a little bit. So I'm going to take this line off because that doesn't mean anything anymore. So what I see now is the possibility that there's going to be a big correction coming. Well, a correction, let me state it that way. Because I see this as A wave, leading diagonal up A. Here's an ABC. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5. I think this was a diagonal. It hit all the targets perfectly. So that's 5, 3, 5. Now this could be also just the very beginning of the 3rd wave. This wave right here, this 5-wave move, that could just be one of the 3rd wave. And there'll be 5 waves up. So I want to see the reaction in this zone. Yeah, there's two patterns that I see playing out. Either this is the first wave and we should get just a three-wave correction, because this will be one, this will be two, and then it's going to blast off again for three, four, and then a five. And that'll be just all the third wave. And then this will be one, this will be two, and then up there. The other pattern is this is all, like if they're going to be going up in a diagonal, you know, this was the A, the B, and the C, and that's one. And then you're going to probably get a pretty big correction, you know, down into under 3.8, probably even into the 3.7s. And this will be two, and then they'll be going up for 3.4 and a 5 in a diagonal format. So this next wave will help tell us what pattern they're going to go up in. Now, there's also the possibility that this was all just a correction, because we haven't broken this high yet up here, and this came down, even though it hit a perfect target, looking like a correction. This could be just an A, B, C, and then they're going to come all the way down. I don't know why they would need to do that. So yeah, we'll have to watch how this correction develops. So far, it's very tame. You know, we don't even know if the fifth wave is really even done yet, but they're just staying up here. So I'd only be looking for buy setups, but I think that this should be coming down, because it looks like you got a 1-2 and then a 1-2. So there should be, so it could be like an AB and then a 1-2, and then you get a 3-4 and a 5. So I'd only be buying down underneath that low, but a lot lower. So under 427. I'd only be looking for the buy setups, even though I think it should be coming down to a minimum of like down to 409. If they're going to start to make the correction now, unless they got one more wave up, but you can't be buying here. So copper, I think it needs to correct. So I'd only be looking for a buy, but we don't know exactly what this pattern is, because this correction, like I said, it could be pretty substantial, you know, and it could be coming down, like I said, into the 3.7 zone. So we'll have to watch and see how this works. But yeah, for copper, I'm only interested in buys, but I think you gotta wait. All right, gold. Gold, pretty much the same thing. So, you know, a lot of the commodities, they've been having the same type of run, like, you know, copper, gold, silver, you know, like everything it was only a buy setup, only looking for buys all at the same time. And now everything, I think, needs to correct. And so I think gold, if I'm seeing this right, that they're making a diagonal here. This is 1, 2, this 2, 3. They should be coming down for a 4. And so far, zooming in here, just have two ways really, just like a 1, 2, 3 there, and then a 1, 2, 3 there. And so far you just have 1, 2 down. So I mean, it's still just being choppy. I'd only be looking for buy setups, but you know, like I said last week, you know, if you're buying up here, you know, they did go and make a new high last Friday. You know, so if you played it, good for you, but you know, now you might be underwater if you would have bought here. So yeah, I'd only wait for the correction to happen. There's got to be a 4, because I don't see this as that top being the end of it. So this is 1 and 2. We only have 3 waves up, and we need more waves. So I'd only wait for a pullback. So at a minimum, I'd only buy under 2.3, 2.4, but I think it should kind of be coming along this this red line here, somewhere in the like 22, 25, 2250 range, somewhere in there. So, but it might take a while because it's not going to come down real fast anyway for right now. So gold buy setups, but I think you got to wait. And then when we look at silver, the same thing. It's going to be similar. I'd only be looking for a buy setup only when it reaches 26, 30, let's say 32. Could be coming down all the way into the 24s, but I think 25s into the 26s. That's a good place to start to look for the buy setup because that should be the 4, and then it'll go up for its 5th wave. So, yeah, only interested in the buy setups for gold and silver and uranium. All right, let's drill in. Well, this is looking very impulsive. It almost looks like it's only 3 waves though, almost like an A, B, C, a quick correction, and then an impulse. Because this correction doesn't fit any of this. So I think this is only 3 waves. So there is the potential, because we had 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3. If this is 3 waves, that could be A, this could be B, and then they're going to come down for the C wave still. So uranium's not super clear. It was good to see they just wicked through the bottom of this box and then got a really strong response, but now it's kind of selling off. So what I see is it looks like you'd have 3 waves to there. So that is either 1 or A, and then you got this 3 wave move. So that's either the B wave or it could be 2 and they're going down for a diagonal. Because this was very strong, obviously. So 1, 2. So that could be 3, and then maybe this was just like a 4, and now they're going to come ripping down for 5. That's the bearish case, that this is going to be, this is A, this was B, and then they come down, break 2677 for the C wave, and then head up. The bullish count would be they're going to go up to break that high in a diagonal, because that's all 1, and then this was 2, and then obviously uranium has to, from right here, literally from right here, it has to start to really get aggressive, because if that's 1 and 2, we need to really get some strong momentum going to create the 3, and then that'll create a 4, and then go back up for 5, and this will be a diagonal. So uranium cannot, as far as I can tell, it can't break that low again and still be going up, because then I would see this as being 1, 2, 3, 4, and if they break this, this will be 5, and then it'll be just a matter of, do they break 2677 on the 5th wave, or is this all going to be a leading diagonal to, like, somewhere in here, give you a correction, and then still going more down. So 28, I think, is a line in the sand for uranium. If that breaks, then I think they're coming under 2677. But if they can push up, especially if they can get above that 2972, because then you're going to have some strong momentum, and if they come up that high, like, it doesn't, especially if they can really push above it, that doesn't look like it would be a 4, and then they're going to reverse for the 5. That'd be a really high 4. So I think breaking 2972 is really important for bulls. But yeah, 28 I think is the key level to watch now. All right, that's what I see in the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support. Good luck. I'll see you in the next video.